Well, Prince Harry has begun a second deployment to the military front line in Afghanistan. The Prince arrived at Camp Bastion early today and will fly Apache attack helicopters during his 4-month deployment. His first spell with British forces in the country was ended early in 2008 because of security concerns when the news was leaked. But this time, the Ministry of Defence decided that announcing his arrival would not add to the threat to his safety or that of his colleagues, as Carl Dinnan reports.
Harry's back in Helmand, and this time everyone knows. The third in line to the throne arrived at Camp Bastion early this morning. He'll spend 10 days here acclimatising before flying missions in the Apache attack helicopter. It's intended his tour will last 4 months. Bar the occasional media visit like this one, the military want to keep his deployment as normal as possible.
And working together with his colleagues in the squadron, he'll be in a difficult and demanding job, and I ask that he be left to get on with his duties and allowed to focus on delivering support to the coalition troops on the ground.
It's a far cry from his last deployment as a forward air controller.
Roger, that large compound just confirmed there's many craters from air ordnance.
A global media blackout was supposed to protect the Prince and his colleagues, and when it was broken by an Australian magazine, he was brought home. The new approach, agreed between the media and the MOD, is partly a recognition that a total blackout is almost impossible to enforce. But what's really changed is that this time the Ministry of Defence believes there is no additional risk to Prince Harry or his comrades from him being seen to be in Afghanistan. Now that's mainly because his job is different. Last time out he was on the ground, this time he's in the air. The chance to redeploy to Afghanistan is thought to be one of the reasons the Prince retrained as an Apache pilot. Taliban fighters, relatively poorly armed, have never managed to shoot down an Apache.
He's an Apache attack helicopter pilot. He's been very well trained for that task. The Apache is a very well protected helicopter, so he's doing his duty, taking his share of the risks, as all the others deployed at the time in Afghanistan are.
The greater threat could come on the ground. In March, there was a suspected suicide car bomb attack inside Camp Bastion during a visit by the US Defence Secretary. Since then, personnel, like Prince Harry's colleague here, have carried weapons with them on the base. So the deployment is not without danger, and perhaps goes some way to explaining the Prince's recent antics in Las Vegas.
An inquest has ruled that the death of a British soldier in Afghanistan was due to mistaken beliefs and cumulative failures. Lance Corporal Christopher Roney was killed when 2 American Apache helicopters in 2009 opened fire. His base was under attack when the air support was called in. The British position was mistaken for a Taliban compound. Well, the Ministry of Defence has announced that a British soldier from the Grenadier Guards has died from injuries sustained in Afghanistan last month.